Hi everyone, my name is Ryan and welcome to Math with RG. Thank you so much for being here. Today we're working on linear inequalities for Algebra 1, solving inequalities by adding and subtracting. Alright, I'm Ryan and I've been private tutoring math since 2008. I absolutely love helping my students. I love helping them with test-taking strategies and better study habits. The best one I think is when you're studying, when you're learning something new, as you're writing it, say it out loud. It activates all your senses. You can also practice this during a test. You just don't say it out loud, you say it in your mind. All right, let's dive into it. So, what is an inequality? Okay, so first we're going to look at these symbols. So we have this one right here. You always want to read these left to right. And when you're dealing with a variable, you want to read it from the variable, which means you might end up reading it right to left. But if there's a variable involved, then you must read it from the variable, because otherwise you're just going to get confused. Okay, so when I read this symbol left to right, it means less than. So the pointy part means less than. So this is less than. Okay, the next symbol is greater than. So I just think about it as like, you know, something eating something else, right? The mouth is open, so it's greater than. All right, the very next one we have is less than or equal to. So you see how there's a line at the bottom, but just one line. So it's less than or equal to. And then the last one is, you guessed it, greater than or equal to. Okay, so then it says solve, right? We're going to solve the inequality and then graph it on a number line. So the very first question, number 1, it says x plus 3, and then we have that symbol, right, the open mouth, so that means greater than 7. X plus 3 is greater than 7. All right, so what's happening to the variable? Well, it says plus 3, right, so we do the opposite, which is minus 3. That cancels out, and we have x is greater than, whoa, see, we all make mistakes. It's all good. X is greater than 7 minus 3, which is 4. Okay, so now you want to first demonstrate, well, what does that mean? So when I say x is greater than 4, it literally means that x can be any number as long as it's greater than 4. So could be 4.1, right? All right, now we're going to put it on the number line. So we have a number line right here, going forever in both directions. What I like to do is put 0 always, and then put the number that we're dealing with, of course, on the correct side. 4 is a positive number, so it has to be to the right of 4. I mean, to the right of 0. There we go again, making a little silly mistake. It's all good. Okay. So when you graph it, you have to demonstrate x is greater than 4. So what I do is I go above the 4, I put an open circle. Open circle means that we're not including the 4, but that it's starting at 4. And then to the right, right, because it said greater than 4. So that's what that means. So again, open circle means you're not including the number. That's just your starting position, but the answer has to be greater than that number. If it's a closed circle, then you are including that number. That means the equal to. Okay, let's go to the next one. So we have 16 minus y is greater than 9. This one is going to have like an added twist to it, and I'll show you why in a moment. So we subtract the 16, right? Because the 16 is positive, so I got to subtract it to the other side. Cancels out. Now notice that we're left with a negative y. Not just a y, but a negative y is greater than, and now we have 9 minus 16. Well, What is 9 minus 16? Well, it's going to be a negative number because 16 is bigger. So what's the difference between 9 and 16? Well, that's 7, so it's negative 7. Okay, so the added twist here, all right, even though we're just adding and subtracting here, I'm going to give you a little heads up. We are going to have to divide by negative 1 on both sides to make sure that the y is positive. Now here's the deal. Here's the added twist. Once we divide by a negative number, the symbol flips. Because we're changing, right? The negative 7 is being divided by a negative number, so the sign is changing to positive. So the symbol has to switch. Okay, and so now, I know we're running out of space a little bit, but we've got our number line. We've got 0, we've got the number 7, and it said less than 7, so we're going this way. Okay, let's go to the next example. So we've got r plus 1.5 is less than or equal to 4.5. So we do the opposite, right? We subtract the 1.5, subtract the 1.5, and we have r less than or equal to 3. All right, so again, what does that literally mean? Well, it means that r can be 3 or less than 3, right? So less than or equal to, so it could be 3 or any number less than 3. All right, so then we graph it up. 0, and we have 3. So this time I do a filled in circle. And then less than means to the left, so I go to the left. All right, so you know, we're going to change this one up just a little bit. I'm going to make this negative 11. Okay, so we have z plus 4 is greater than or equal to negative 11. So we subtract 4 on both sides. We have z is greater than or equal to, we have negative 11 minus 4. Negative 11 means like I borrowed money, right? So I borrowed $11. Negative 4 means I borrowed another $4. So how much money did I borrow in total? I borrowed $15. So we have z is greater than or equal to negative 15. So we have the 0, and again, what does that mean? Well, it means that it could be negative 15, right? The answer could be negative 15 or something greater than negative 15. And then we've got our negative 15, filled in circle, greater than is going to the right. All right, those are your examples for today, right? Great job, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you. Great job on finishing today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, tell your friends and family. And if you want to dive deeper into chapter test work, you can check out my school platform, skool.com. The link will be in the bio below. And if you want more information on one-on-one tutoring, you can check out my website, rgtutors.com. Thank you again, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye for now.